Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Sure. Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you boot up the game. Okay. A lot of people don't take the step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it, okay. But you actually take the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. All right. That's how I know that you care about the experience you're playing. Oh, that's very sweet, right? I don't even have any way of knowing it if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want. Even if it's not correct, you've earned it. Oh my god. All right, let you back in the video game now. So this is double-edged here, right? That to me says... Hi guys, by the way, it's Calvin, also known as Romer. Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Romer. This is my first ever playthrough of the Stanley Parable. That to me, that's double-edged there. To me, that says two things. That says, thank you so much for actually paying attention. It actually is very genuine from the developer, but also it feels like, you know, when you're in an office and you do something good, and then they go, pizza party, you know, they offer just something very small. Like, hey, just set your own time if you want. You know what I mean? It seems like something very small. Okay, so we begin the game again. There's a few things we're going to try.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
So we can skip this, right? Yeah. So here's what we're going to do with this game, by the way. I'm going to keep playing it, but I think what we might do is, because usually I have like spoiler rules, but I feel like this game is a bit different where like you can't really spoil... Like, obviously, no, you can spoil what's going to happen in the endings, but obviously I don't want that. But as people have, like, you know, rightly probably, like, pointed out as well a few times already, it's one of those situations where, like, I don't mind people being like, oh, like, you know, maybe try to do this next time, just so I have a better idea of that. Because I think that would help. Instead of me, like, looking it up and then finding a spoiler, like, if people can be, like, very vague on that, I have no problem with that whatsoever, because I think that actually wouldn't be too bad. As long as you don't spoil what the actual endings are, and I think I'll be, like, great, right? I think it'd be fantastic. If that makes sense. Because it's not like one of those situations where I feel like it's going to spoil anything. It's not going to spoil anything, I feel like, to be like, okay, like, try spinning around 3 times in this thing. Because those are things that, like, I probably will not find. You know what I mean? That's just the truth. But yeah, let's try this out, okay? Let's try this all out. So one of the endings I want to try right away.
All of his co-workers...
Should we try the one where you can plug out the cord? I've heard you can plug out the cord.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Yeah.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So for this, we're going to have to go right? Over here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
I know
well.
it.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
It's a good employee lounge.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Not today. Not today. Oh, Stanley. This is what he says with Stanley,
was
right?
so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
So there's a door over here as well, right? So you can definitely, like, get over here, but I think we're going to maybe plug the phone out
Look,
first.
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong
That's probably the
foot
best
here.
idea to do.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
The narrator, like, makes me feel
There's someone
so...
you've been neglecting,
kind of scared and claustrophobic all the
someone
time.
you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her again as well. And this game also, like, has this feeling to me as well of, like, and I talked about the last one too, like, the reason I think this game is incredible so far is it has this energy of, like, a game where, like, there's, like, this never-ending feeling to it as well. There's a feeling of being trapped. There's a feeling of being, like, a hamster on the wheel. But it's intentionally so, I feel like, to make you feel like, you know, while you're finding all these different paths that we found so far, like, the endings we've gotten so far have made me feel so bad. And at best, it's made me feel uneasy. At worst, it's made me feel like I'm in the worst situation possible. And these loops are really, they really make me feel like I'm not, like, does it make sense to say it makes it feel like a character isn't even, like, a true individual at this stage, you know what I mean? Because even, like, when we make choices for ourselves, they end up in, like, so far in very horrible situations, right? So far.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Does that make sense what I'm saying with the kind of claustrophobic feeling and
been waiting.
the feeling of sad and
That's
kind of like
her,
being
Stanley.
trapped.
You need to be the one to do this. To read. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible.
Wait, it's not possible?
Let me double check.
He's gonna check the manual? Oh my god, he's checking the script.
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one
But that doesn't
another.
happen either.
Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits.
No, that doesn't
Not
happen.
Picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible?
He's confused
None
himself.
of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices?
Oh my
What did
god.
you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it.
What?
How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
What? So he's saying Stanley's not real.
I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long.
Stop.
If you've made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity
This is such
of
a
the
different vibe
situation?
from what we're
Well,
used
I
to.
won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a
No.
moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
What?
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice.
No.
It's the best part
No,
of being a real person. But if used incorrectly,
in-office
can also
video
be the
tutorial?
most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert
Real
has a
person, by the
choice.
way.
He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people.
Okay.
Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice
This art
would
is so
you
classic,
make?
by the way.
Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense,
Love this
in
art
all
style.
likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking.
So stop talking to people
Turn
who
to
are
a
weird.
partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back sack and crack."
What's a back sack and crack? Practice.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis
the
is the
tie in
best
a crocodile?
part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical
am I
professionals
witnessing?
recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
Like an apple?
Do
Like-
you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to
These
wonder
drawings.
if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back.
What the
You may
hell?
have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago
Stop.
and see what the correct thing to do would have been.
So, first of all, the instructional video again, to me, like a lot of the elements of this game are like this thing of like making you feel like you are, as you said, like a rat in a cage, like on a hamster wheel, making you feel like you're in this mundane lifestyle, right? I think that's generally what this game is trying to feel sometimes. And then I had this idea that like my perception of it was the idea that like when we're like going through all these different things, so are these choices, it feels like maybe like we are like trying to like desperately escape this mundane life in some way by trying to make any choice that is like, you know, that we feel like is our own choice, because we've lived a life so much that where we felt satisfied, but now there must be some urge in us that's trying to get out of this. But I feel like even in this moment when we made this like this choice to plug out the cord, he started saying like, oh, you're supposed to live happily ever with your wife. He's still lying to us there. Like, you're still a lie. Oh, you're supposed to live happily ever with your wife and the credits were going to roll. We know that doesn't happen. What happens is the office comes back to our home and like infects it. To the point that we can't even escape it, even when we're like in this this idea of an idealistic home, right? In this sense too, we plug out the cord, and the first thing that happens is something that like everyone freaking dreads in a workplace, which is like they don't happen as much nowadays, but like you can equate this to like this is a very common thing in like back in the day as well, like the workplace video, you know, relationships in the workplace and what you should avoid, you know, stuff like that. Like, and should you smoke in the workplace? Here are some tips. Those type of videos. And they did a really good job of it, by the way. The artwork was great. But I feel like even in that sense, it's like you made a choice for yourself that seemed like it was out of the ordinary. Okay, how about this then? We're putting you back in a place where everyone can at least relate to it in some way. You can equate it to like modern day manager meetings, you know, where like, okay guys, sales are up like 2%, you know, and you're kind of locked in there. They trapped us, they sat us there once again, that corporate lifestyle of having to watch these silly videos and you're not able to move, you can't move. And in this sense, it's forcing us not to move. We're like in a workplace, we're told we have to go to these meetings and have to sit down there and do that too. Even when we made a choice for ourselves there, we were locked into something again where we had to watch a thing about choice. It's like, once again, this like illusion of choice, right?
This way, please.
So you want me to answer the phone again? It's such a great game. It's such a great game. Like the concept of it. Over here? What do you want me to do? Back on this thing?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
And that's, yeah, like the
Imagine
door was
main
open there, so we
character
can do
dying
that.
senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense
They put up a
at all.
freaking cage here,
We
by the
just need
way.
to
So
get
they're
you
trying to stop
home
us from making choices, by the way.
as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction
We're going
gets
down.
any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
And he's talking about the difference between reality. Sorry, I keep pausing. He's talking about the difference between reality and like a real person and a fake person. I wonder if it is like that like this idea too, where it's like trying to like make us feel very like out of place for making these choices, but also making us feel like, oh, well, was I fake all along? Was I real? Am I a real person? You know? And now it's like definitely, you know, choice prevention. This is physical choice prevention. Oh, we went down. Of course we went down, right? Because we went up before. So we're going all the way back, I guess. This game is so interesting to me, man. We're going all the way back. Are we going back to our office? It feels like we've been scolded, right? Because he said contradictions as well, so obviously like there's like some we've contradicted the story. We did something we weren't even supposed to do as a choice.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Are you serious? Oh, he wants us to go to the left door again. Is there any way to get out of this? But you know what I mean? Like it's like I guess like we did something that we weren't even able to do in the story, or we couldn't do in the story. These papers on the ground made me think that people were here, right? It makes me think that people were here because it's like it's mid-work, and it's not just like neatly placed around the place. This is like Rapture style. People drop their stuff. There's coffee cups everywhere. Look at that there. Can we get through there? Is there a way to get through there? It's like Rapture style, right? Unless he set it up that way on purpose to mess with our mind as well, you know, that could be a possibility.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley
Oh my
would.
God.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came
Oh
to the
my
set
God,
of
we're doing
two
this
open
again?
doors, he entered the door on his left.
Should we go right again? We should go right again? Yeah. It's almost like, again, it feels like we've been scolded or reprimanded in work, right? You know, having to go through those training days, you know, those things too. Like, and again, it's one of those things, I never had to do like a training day work, but like you hear about them all the time in TV shows. And again, it's not that like they're bad or anything. Like people sometimes have to do them, but you hear about them all the time. It's like, well, actually, you know what? I think there's company-wide training days, you know, and stuff like that too, that people have to do.
No! Why did you do that?
All of these contradictions
Quickly,
again.
Hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
But it does feel like this is like the weirdest like company retreat ever, right? The idea of like, all right, guys, we have to like learn how to do proper sales techniques on the phone, you know? Let's try to make proper choices. What if you're going again? So there's nothing we can do here? Again, there's to talk about the story contradictions. Again, it's like we're not supposed to be here. It's like they didn't set this up for us. So do we have to go left? I guess. I'm trying to open up every door. I don't want to just get the same ending as last time.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my work.
Oh no.
Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage?
Oh my
it's
God, he's so
worthless
pissed
now.
off.
And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do?
He's just talking to himself at this stage.
What do I...
Danger
No, I
everywhere,
have
by the
to.
way.
I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
What? What? How does that work? Oh, this is kind of... Oh, this is super scary. What the hell? And the idea of shutting down the game...
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish.
He's so pissed off that his game is ruined, right?
You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we
There's
are.
a vitriol in his
My
voice.
entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
So he has ownership over
What,
the story.
Did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley?
Like Stanley.
He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it.
Yeah, the anger there is
That
for
thought
sure there.
hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Again, he said this before, whether he said this to us before, right? Remember we were on the conveyor belt? What did he say to us? Like, it's all been about you. Because he wants to tell his story. There's something about him that he's like, I want to, it's like a satisfaction for him. This is my story. This is all I have. I want to be able to tell the story. And he said, be like Stanley. So he sees Stanley as like a separate entity. When we go off the path, it's like we become someone different. Stanley is someone who stays within the lines and doesn't try to question anything. The real version of, I guess, real quote unquote version of Stanley maybe splits off every single time that we do something that's totally out of the ordinary of the story. Because now we've ruined his story to the point that he can't even like congruently put it back together. It's almost like when someone's telling you a story and you poke holes in it and then they have no way to bring it back on track, you know? And then you're a child belittling us.
Story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious.
I saw that part.
It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make...
Oh?
Behave exactly as Stanley
Oh my
would.
God, we're back here?
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
There's a petulance to his voice as well when he was there as well, right? When he was really upset. He calls us a child, but he's the one who's so upset that he doesn't have full control over the story. You know? It's almost like a child taking all the toys out of his pram. You know, it's a child that didn't get the ice cream. Like there is a petulance to him as well. There is like a childishness to him. He's calling us a child, but we're just trying to make decisions for ourselves.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Oh my God!
Behave exactly as Stanley
Wait, what if we keep doing
That
it?
means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
So he's
on
trying
his
desperately to
left.
put the story back on track. Wait. No comment this time? Nothing? Did we truly make a mistake this time?
No! Why did you
Oh,
do that?
he acknowledged it.
Quickly, hurry back. Is behave exactly as Stanley would.
Maybe we should try
That
left. We'll try
means
right one
choosing
more time, then we'll try
responsibly
left.
And always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna try one more time. Yeah, these story inconsistencies. It does feel like it is like a spiritual way of saying, like, you know, or like this is a literal way of showing us an inconsistency, but like what's happening is like his story is so jumbled because he's trying to get it back on track, but he's not able to. Because our character is doing something that's not even a choice that allowed in the story, you know what I mean? Which was plug out the telephone. He didn't expect this was going to happen.
No! Why did you do that?
There's a trigger here, I think.
Quickly, hurry back.
Right? Okay, we'll try go left again. We'll try go left.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, and it's still so like harrowing, by the way, to like go through this like as a character. Like it's once again trying to make us feel like we're a rat in a cage. It's once again trying to make us feel like we're like trapped. It does make me feel like, you know, I'm less than a human, not being able to even do this stuff, not being able to make a choice for myself. And the character, like I think that's what the narrator wants in some way, right? I feel less than human as I'm doing this. I feel like the power has been taken out of my hands. It feels bad. You know? So we got this far last time. Okay, everything's okay now. Does he want us to go through the whole story?
There was not a single person here either.
What's happening?
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
The broom closet's locked. Oh my
Coming
god!
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
He's trying desperately to keep this in place, keep this story in place, by the way. He's trying desperately, to the point that it's actually taken away the natural elements of like a story, right? It's almost meta in a way of taking away your immersion. It's like, oh, why would this be blocked off? That doesn't make any sense, because he's desperately trying to get us back on track. It takes away that natural immersion, which is like so intentional and so cool what they're doing with this. Oh my god, there's even like a stairs right up there, so you can't even do anything else. Was there stairs the last time? I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know. What's down here? But it seems like he's 100% trying to keep us on track here. It does feel like someone is petulantly, aggressively, yeah, that door wasn't there before, trying to keep us like, trying to entertain himself, and we're
stepping inside his manager's
we're
office, Stanley was
for them.
once again stunned to discover not an indication of
that
any
panda's
human
gonna
life.
paint is gonna scary.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay
It was
all
a
the
code
answers
last
to his
time.
questions, and beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115.
Nightshark 115.
Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from
for
within
real?
himself the courage to face the
We're gonna
unknown.
get to talk?
He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Wait, we can't speak though. How are we gonna do this?
Stanley spoke the
Bro, I
code.
can't speak.
Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver right there on the wall.
By the way, this is also him, I feel like, trying to make the story, like, changing the story so, like, again, so it is,
I'm
like,
sorry, is there a
there's
problem?
less than...
You didn't mishear me, did
We can't
you?
speak.
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial
He's so
step.
frustrated. He's so frustrated with us. Mama.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means
And he's
to
talking
take
about
a
us that we're not
story
Stanley
seriously.
anymore.
If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door
No,
on the
we don't
right.
have a choice.
You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain
Oh my
yourself, you coward.
God.
You... When Stanley came to a
Stop!
set of two open
What?
doors, he entered the door on his left.
We're seeing Stanley, like, in front of us now as well. Is he trying to show us what a good Stanley is as well? The frustration in his voice and the kind of bitterness towards us and, the, like, again, the kind of, like, you know when you get so frustrated, you're like, oh, I can't believe this is, you know, you kind of tripping over, you know, not that he was tripping over his words, but, like, he was so frustrated that he implemented all these story points that made us go this far, but implemented a part of his story because everything was so inconsistent that we couldn't get past. We couldn't talk. And then he blamed it on us. This is so freaking crazy.
Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
What?
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything
What?
all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision.
Stop
it cannot
this.
exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot
He's
be
so
wrong. We can work
sad.
together. I'll accept
With these
whatever you
credits,
do.
there's something
I
so
simply need
depressing
you
about the
to
credits
take
just
that
rolling
step
up as well.
forward, Please choose.
Like,
Do something.
it's a depressing sight.
This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it.
The sadness in his voice.
You hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
Sorry, Leroy.
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing.
I've never heard his voice like this.
Take as
Oh, even the
much
credits are
time
stuck
as you
here?
need.
That is incredible. Truly, truly incredible. Because we're seeing different sides of the narrator every single time, and that time it really felt like we met the kind of petulant, bitter, almost childish in a way side of the narrator, where he has claimed ownership on this story. And this is another thing we already had this idea that he was kind of like, manipulating stuff. But not only that, but he needs this somehow. I need this story. I need this to happen. This is something that brings him joy. Controlling Stanley, telling him what to do so he can see the narrative out and see it play out. There's something like an element of control there where it's like I get to see someone do what I say over and over and over and over again. The good Stanley would just do what I say and get out of here. And it seems like since it's an endless loop, it seems, I do think maybe the narrator loves that, loves the idea of like every single time I tell Stanley what to do, he does it. So as soon as we like did something that you're not even supposed to do in the game, which is plug out the phone, he's like, this isn't even in the story. This isn't even anything. It's not even in the choices. Because he does have other choices laid up. It's clear because he said that, it's not in the script or whatever. But like some of those choices, like he still will try to get us back on path, or he has other stuff planned for us to like, scare us or shock us. He has other stuff to mess with us. But at this time around, it felt like we got to a point where he didn't have anything for us. He didn't have anything planned. And because of that, then he just had to, all we could do is like say that we were ruining his story and that we were not Stanley and that we were real. And it's almost like interesting how like to him, like an insult was like, you're real. You're a real person. Whereas to us, we think that's a good thing. But to him, that's like he was insulting us. The real Stanley would the actual Stanley would go and do whatever he says, And he's saying as well, like, it's almost like, when someone's already bitter with you and it's been like a really like, horrible situation and they continue to be bitter and like that, like the way he said that as well was like, so like you could hear in the narrator's voice, he was like losing control of stuff when he said like, why did you come all this way here if you weren't going to do this? You know what I mean? And it feels very like pointed and horrible to hear because again, it's like, he's like talking at us sometimes. It's not a conversation. He's talking at us. And when he's like, why would you come all the way here and not do this for me? It sounds so like icky to me, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Where it's like he's not only upset that the control has been taken away from his story, he's upset at the idea that you would also like go along with the story for a bit and then back out of it because of something you can't control. That whole part there to me felt like a lack of control from the narrator to the point that now the narrator basically broke down at the idea of his story being ruined and something that he loves being ruined, blaming us. We saw a different side of him. We saw a side that basically changed the story and like manipulated it, took the immersion out of his own story in order to make us like keep going. And like in a meta way, by the way, took like the immersive aspects of a story. Because if you ever play a game and you go down like not even use an example. Let's use an example here with this. You go down a hallway. We see that the staircase is blocked off, but there's doors underneath it, which means there used to be a staircase there. Instantly, you're like, that's not realistic, but that's the whole point. He had to make sacrifices in his story to even get us to that point with the intercom. He made changes all this way to make us get to the intercom. And when we did get to the intercom, he was upset that we couldn't speak. Not something that's our fault. It's like, oh, I want you to have a lack of control in your life, but at the same time, when you showcase something that you can't do, I'm still going to get upset. It's a very petulant side of the narrator as well. I feel like a very, very interesting way of doing that as well. Because now we know he loves the story, he needs the story, he wants the story, at least in this route. And Stanley to him is only something that's a means to the ends until he goes against that, and then he becomes a real person, which again kind of adds to my idea personally of the idea that maybe Stanley is trying to escape the mundane aspects of life by stepping into these different fantasy routes. But there's a narrator that is like, still trying to maybe keep him on like the same path of being controlled. When we do something that's against him, he's still trying to get us on this path. He still tries to control that path, narrates the other path. And this is the one time I feel like the narrator broke down because there's literally nothing to do. It ended with like him looking at Stanley doing nothing. He got to a point where Stanley was effed and done. So he's looking at Stanley like standing there lifeless. And he goes from angry and petulant to begging, to crying, to being so sad that this person that he was able to control for so long, he can no longer control. It's a very, very interesting way they did this. Personally, I found it very, very well done, honestly.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Very, very, like, upsetting, right? Very upsetting. So you have to go right again, right? Because I want to hop off that railing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire
And I think as well, when Stanley, the credits were going up, I think the credits going up to me was a showcase that, like, the narrator's no longer in control of this situation right now. Stanley can no longer move. And us as, like, spectators, as players, we can no longer do anything else because we're trapped within the game's files, it seems, as well. So there's, like, 3 people right now who are watching on as the credits are rolling and nobody's doing anything. Nobody can do anything. It felt like, total control was taken away from everybody. It was a lack of control for everybody, even the player. That's the way I felt about it.
Wow. Yes. This room. Get back to business.
Let's get back
Stanley
into this as
took
well.
The first open door on his left.
Oh yeah, we can do like, I think the elevators are number 1 too. As I said, the way I want to do with like tips, and I think the way that like people have done it already is great, is that like it's not spoilers. No one's spoiling anything. No one's being like, if you go do this, then you get this, and don't do that, you do that. Right? There's no way you could have spoiled that without just saying it outright what happens in the ending. Like all it's like, oh yeah, try like, plugging out the cord. If it's one of those situations where like I already do something and you go like, oh, maybe you should try when you get to this place, try spinning around 3 times. You know what I mean? But don't tell me where it's going to go, because I don't want that. I want it to be surprising, and I want to kind of like get the story
Stanley
myself
was
as well.
so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
You tell me. So how do we step off here? Just like
Look,
jump down
Stanley,
here
I think perhaps
when we get to
we've
here?
gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the
an
fact
exit
is
down there.
that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Is it too far to jump down, or we can jump
There's
down now?
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Her.
Someone you forgot. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Again, that bitterness
Are you
towards
that convinced
us.
that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Bro, I saw what you
Let
did
me prove
before.
it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
That makes me more worried than anything. Because so far you made me feel claustrophobic. You made me feel suffocated. You made me feel like I'm being talked down to. You made me feel like someone like is bitterly attacking me. You made it feel like someone is like insulting me. You made it feel like I'm not real. I'm in a rat race. I'm in a cage. I'm on a hamster wheel. You made me feel this way all this time. And the idea of like then you being like, let me see if I'm on your side, makes me actually worried more than anything. It makes me feel more worried than absolutely everything. I'll tell you that much. I think the game actually really looks good as well. 2B5, 2B3. Is this the area that we saw through the doorways and stuff like that? The lighting's really great in this game too. Warning, do not stand on this side of the fence. 2B4. So basically... Oh.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Oh no.
Stanley walked through the red door.
So this seems like it could be 2 different choices too, or if we do this again, but we walk through the red door, but we're going to walk through blue first of all.
Perhaps you misunderstood.
Oh no!
Stanley walked through the red door.
No, I didn't. I didn't. Let's walk through the blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly.
Stop.
Stanley walked through the red door.
And we know he loves his story so much that he's going to change this. Again, taking immersion away, right? Like in a meta way. Now this is like not a choice. It's taking choice away. It's taking the idea that we have a choice away. This takes again, I want to say when it takes immersion away, it's not that I'm not immersed in the story. I mean that like in this story that he's making, he is replacing his own immersion of being able to tell a story. Like Stanley went through the red door. It's no longer a choice or like a thing. It's like it becomes like on like if you're telling a story and you say Stanley goes through the red door, that implies that there was other doors there. But now there's only one door here. You're actually implying that there's no need to imply that. You know what I mean? Wait, can we go back? Oh, there's blue door here.
All right, fine, go ahead. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen?
So actually,
well, don't let me stop.
He tried to trick us that time. It wasn't about taking immersion away as much. I guess it was if you take away the two doors because it's taking away the choice. It was more about like trying to trick us into not seeing that door. He's like, maybe if I move it over here, they won't see it. It's actually really cool. Really cool stuff. Is this the TV room again?
There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map.
What?
Because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the
God, it's like a
entire story
grid.
I'd written out specifically for you?
Again, the anger in his voice over ruining the story.
I put a lot of time into that, because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours.
He's like, what's wrong with you?
What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Oh, he's
Work
calling
with
us
me.
out.
You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option.
What
this
is that?
already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
So you see all these different things. It's like unfinished. It's like a beta almost. So he mentioned game, by the way. So like it's not only just a story he's telling, but also like he feels like we are in a game of some kind. And it's almost meta as well. I feel like it's like, you know, talking to the player as well, where it's kind of like, hey, like I made this whole game for you. This 17-minute game where you get to escape. What more can I do for you? You know? He's very, very upset. Oh, this is violently orange.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Yes, I benefited.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something.
Thank you.
Where do these flashes of inspiration come from?
Is that where we came from before?
How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly.
Wait, are we being game testers right now?
I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try.
Very
Here,
self-confident.
Based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard? Okay, these aren't actually like real people, right? I don't think so. Yeah, because I have like no friends on Steam. I have literally no one. Mussolini is offline. I hope so. Stanley is online. How long does it take you to get to the correct door? Complete against your. Oh my God! Is this like it turned into a ranked game? There is like like again we talk about bitterness. This idea of like, okay, my game has leaderboards now. My game has this. Is this what you wanted? Friendless is empty. I have like a few friends, like 3 friends on this, but I mostly play on PlayStation, so. But I mostly play single player games too. This is your superior. A dead rat is objectively ranked. Oh my God! How long does it take you to get through the correct door? Complete against. Wait, is it still timing it? Wait, it's still timing it. Do you want me to go through here again?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors?
Honestly?
Again, honest answers, please. Hey,
No.
I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working
I don't care about
on,
leaderboards.
and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
This is so meta.
You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
We've become a real life playtester.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards
What?
danger. You click the button to move him back to the right.
Sure.
And if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life.
So there's the idea of
I
tedium
think
again,
the
right?
art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Oh no! What is this sound? This is a horrible game. This is a horrific game. If you wanted some feedback on this, I'd say let's not play it. Okay, talk with the mundane family life as well, like this stuff too. I think it's trying to send a message or something. So I think they want me to let the baby burn. I think they do. They want me to let this piece of cardboard burn. Let's give it another. Okay, so okay. Let's give it another minute. So in 1 minute, I'll let it go, I guess. So yeah, so this route so far feels like it is like a very meta playtesting thing, where it's like we become a playtester, right? That's what it feels like it's become. It feels like we're at a position now in the game where like, because we've we've neglected his game and we've definitely insulted his story and insulted like his the way he set things up for us. He's like, okay, you do better then, and it feels like a very like again, once again, it feels insulting in a way. And it feels like just another way to make us feel like we are less than, you know? And when I say what makes us feel less than, it's like, you know, he showed us like this like leaderboard idea. He's like, oh, you want a leaderboard? Well, what about this game? You know, that's like has a real message to it, you know? It feels like it's like, well, this is what you wanted, you know? I don't want to let this be burned, but we're doing this for like 3 minutes now. Wait, if you actually use it for 4 hours, does it do something? I wouldn't do this for 4 hours. Just being honest. Okay, I'm gonna sprint a bit.
You heartless bastard.
What are you talking about?
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
No, I didn't know what was
happening. If
happening.
it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out.
Okay, it's making us feel like it's our fault.
It's over.
Stop.
Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain.
What do you mean?
Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
What's happening? What's happening?
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think
Firewatch?
this game's about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man.
A creepy
spying
man?
on innocent civilians below you.
Oh, I thought it was
from
like
up
Firewatch
high
for a
in your
second.
creep tower. Perhaps for some sort of twisted, erotic purpose.
They put another game in here.
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental
This is
depravity.
insane.
So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out
Wait,
there.
there's no way to develop the outside. What? Are you kidding me? They developed I know it's not gonna be like a full game, but like there's like a freaking. It's like Firewatch almost. That's insane what they did with this. Incredibly impressive. And like if you're talking about the story, like I said, it seems like he's blaming us for the story not going well, of course, once again. And this time he's trying to like, I feel like, you know, showing us the baby game, showing us the leaderboard, showing us this, it feels like it is trying to like insult us in a very subtle way of like, is this what you want? You know, that kind of way. And it feels like it's putting all the blame of the game not being what he thinks is not fun for us on us. Man, this is so interesting the way they've done this. Like I did not expect him to have this at all in the game. I thought it was like Firewatch for a second. The colors remind me of Firewatch, but I was like, is it Firewatch? Imagine they put Firewatch in this game. That'd be insane. Oh my god, you know what it reminds me of? I just played Fears to Fathom Ironbark Lookout. It's kind of scary. Look at this! There's like draw distance and everything. They did a masterful job with this. I'm more than impressed.
No, it can't be.
What do you mean it can't be? Oh, it's chugging a bit for me.
It is. It's an open world game.
Oh, God.
Good God, quickly, block it off.
Oh, yeah, it was getting a bit chuggy there.
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing.
Oh, the
That
open
big
world?
Open, just wandering around, no right or wrong direction.
Which is something
no
you wouldn't
path
want,
to follow.
right?
You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
That's so interesting.
Out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game.
For him,
Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
for the narrator, an open world game is like the devil because it is the opposite of what he
I
likes.
think this will be just the thing.
He doesn't like endless possibilities. He doesn't like, wrong.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
Wait, that
Just
was
a nice
Firewatch and
big
this is
box
Rocket
for you
League?
to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you
Huh?
could get lost here. Now,
This is so impressive.
this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally
Wait, we have to fight a way to
impressed.
get lost? Guys, this is so impressive.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here?
It's actually Rocket League.
There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball?
Sports ball.
Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Wait, what? Okay. Man, the fact that they put Rocket League and I'm thinking Firewatch in the game. At least like some game like that. They put it in the game. Like it's such like an impressive deal. Are we a car now?
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so
Oh
hard on?
my god, the bitterness.
Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal
Oh, is he gonna put in multiple
pleasure,
balls?
then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
I don't know if that's how it
I need to
works.
try it out. Here comes another ball.
I think you're missing one crucial element of why this game is fun.
Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm
So-
insatiable.
Now I'm kind of thinking as well that like he is desperately trying to find a game that's like fun for him and us, out of this feeling of like trying to understand like game development in a weird way, or maybe even like I do think there's an element of torture he goes, but it's very interesting that he's like oh my god, this is amazing, Stanley, look what I've been able to do. It still feels like it's very mocking, but at the same time too, there's like a little bit of like a maniacal excitement from this character.
Balls.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And the crucial element we're missing for this, by the way, people to play against. That's why Rocket League is so fun.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game?
See, they're on top
Well, I
of the
sure hope
mocking
you're having a
tone.
good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and
There
what
it is,
I
yeah.
say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you.
He put us into different games to show us that like even like he wanted us to have fun for a second, to feel like we're about to explore, right? We're about to go into an open world. We're about to play this game of like we're playing with the balls, right? We're playing with balls, but he's saying even here, you're not gonna have fun unless I say so.
Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am structure. I'm
Structure?
your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley.
Are you
I'm
serious?
leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much.
Wait, so there's no
but who knows?
rules?
You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care,
Yeah,
Stanley.
that mocking tone. So now that we have no rules, what do we do? We can jump down there, right? We can definitely jump down there. But yeah, as I was saying, like it really feels like again, as you said, he's upset that like we didn't play his game right. He put us in these games. He gave us like an endless, boundless possibility with his open world. He gave us as much like like let's roam around here for free as well. And now he's just upset that like again we went against his game. And his answer is, well, screw you then. See what it's like without structure. Because again, it's one of those things where like, when he's talking about structure, you're talking about like, missions and the idea of what you could do. Because even like the games that like feel like very freeing, like Animal Crossing, still have a structure to it. You know what I mean? There's still like rules in place. There's gameplay rules. You can't just do whatever you want. And in a very meta way, that's what he's saying here is like, I give the rules, I do all this stuff here. But in a double meta way, the game sets the rules for the narrator too, because we also get to go against what the narrator says sometimes, you know? There's a lot of like really double meta things going on there. Should we try jumping down here?
Hold on. What are you doing?
Yep. We're trying to escape this game. Oh, this is beta.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you.
Wait, he can't
How
even
will
see
you
us?
write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
He can't even see us here. So we have to like... It's like an unfinished area of the game almost in a way, but like there's actually like construction tools. It makes it feel like there's like, you know, many people working on this, you know, like people are shrunk down into the console. Whereabouts do we go? It's very dark down here. Filing cabinets? Oh. Is that the right or wrong thing to do? Who knows? What is this? What is this? What's happened now? This seems like a horror game of some style. Oh my god, like what's that there? It's another like unfinished game, right? But it feels like this feels like very indie horror style of a game, right? For sure. Do we have to continue to find places to fall off maybe? You can see like the paint here as well, like it's Wait. Left and the right doors? Will this take us back to our office? Wow. It's like the two doors, like the left and the right door. And there's a light again. Very good development here, like showing us the light here. Very naturally, the one light on. So it feels like he still maybe could be controlling us in some way. What is this? What did I... Was I supposed to find this area? There's cameras there, so maybe we weren't even supposed to find this area. Maybe, once again, this game is very meta. Possibly. The game said, hey, follow the light. But we didn't in the end. Oh!
I wonder what he found.
Huh?
If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now.
So he's talking about us as we're not there
I wonder
anymore.
if he's happy with his choice.
We're trapped there
If
forever.
he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
Oh.
He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion.
Wow.
That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
It's going to load back up again to the next region. He said like it's going to be here very soon. I don't know if that's the truth, but I do want to talk about the other stuff he said here is like, you know, this world needs me. You need me. The reason I want to talk about this is because I feel like this is like, you know, there's this feeling throughout both stories we played together. This is going to be the last discussion we do today, by the way, about this. I feel like it's one of those things where like the story both times like really felt like it was, there was this bitterness towards us of like going against the story, going against his story. And it wasn't just like this thing where it's like him, you know, because like the other times we like made mistakes, like the time when we were like running around in circles and we died there, and we didn't die, but I think we maybe passed out. Or the time when he brought us back to his home and he made the office like encroach on us. I think the reason why that felt different was because he was still very much like painfully in control of that situation. So it felt like we were still being trapped, but he was still like in full control. This time around, it really felt like in multiple places that he was in control for some of it, but then other times he was just losing control consistently, which made him very bitter and upset and sad at us and angry at us at times too. The ending we just got there, I feel like the ending is we're trapped there forever down in that place, but at least we have like agency, right? We're writing our own story, but the story we write actually isn't actually going to be anything, because there's a reason that one light was on for me. Because in a game development sense, if you play a horror game, you follow the light. right? If there's a light down the hallway, you follow that light. It's a way for the developers to showcase that you should go down here. When we went down there, there was nothing. We couldn't interact with anything. We couldn't press anything. And I think in a way that was trying to showcase that, like, on our own, making this story, at least in this route, yes, we can follow all the stuff that like would naturally lead us to like, you know, an ending of a game, follow the light, follow the locations, follow the hallways, all the stuff too that is in-game development. But without the narrator, is there anything there to develop? We're trapped here. I'm not saying that we need the narrator, but I'm saying that like in this sense, in this route, what we found out was our own story is hard to develop in our own mind because as a person, our fantasies are wild, of course. Like we go to different places, we see all these different routes and we can like, you know, make different choices and all that stuff too. But at the same time too, I feel like at the moment, at least with like the route we just did, it feels like our character, the only thing they know what to do is to kind of like try and break the game in a way, which leads to them, yes, being away from the narrator. The narrator no longer is talking to them. They're free from that. But now they're in a space where they don't know what it is. They don't know what the area is. And nothing works. So there's like, it's an unfinished game down there. It's like being in a server that's empty. And that's where we are right now. The narrator then talked about how we need him. And I think there's going to be routes, hopefully, where we can like, you know, where we don't need him. And I feel like that's like, we showed that in this episode, but I felt like that route was definitely trying to showcase that like the narrator was so bitter about us like not liking his game. He was like, you don't like this game? Oh, how about I put a leaderboard up? Because again, whilst like there's nothing wrong with having a leaderboard in a game, it did feel like a hoity-toity like developer being like, oh, maybe I should put a leaderboard in my game. Maybe I should make it open world. Maybe I should do like an online sports game, you know, that type of thing. I felt like a very petulant like developer online who's upset that like no one's buying his game. You know what I mean? Oh, maybe I should implement like open world battle royale stuff, you know, like because they're so upset. And I felt like that's what it was. And he was taunting us with that too, with like the baby stuff was clearly just his way of being like, play this then, go on, play. Is this fun for you? Is this fun? Try. And he knew it wasn't fun, but to me, it's like one of those situations where like he's trying to like, if we play this for 4 hours, let's say we clicked it for 4 hours, what can he say? Good boy, well done, you did it. You did what you were told. If we don't play for 4 hours and we let the baby die, you're a monster. You're horrible. So no matter what, we're trapped in this space where he's still going to get to have a desired reaction where he can like either insult us or degrade us, I think anyway. So anyway, I don't know what the other route will be. If he does say good boy or like good job. But then he sends us into like this open world area. And I felt like the reason why he sent us into open world area is because he knew what it was. Then he blocks off the walls. That instantly makes you feel like bad. Have you ever played an open world game and you get to like a place where they go, you can't come in here yet? It makes you feel for a second, you're like, oh, but I want to see that place, you know? And blocking off everywhere you're just trapped in one space is a showcase of just like, you get to explore when I tell you to explore, buddy. All right? I'm going to make sure that you don't get to explore. It was a way to taunt us. It was a way to showcase that I'm in control here still. Even though you're in a different game, I'm in control here. The game with the balls, he's like this thing where like he's, it feels like he doesn't understand development very well, where he's like, you can't escape, so I'm just going to send a bunch of balls in here. Oh, are you having fun? Okay, let's take it all away. And again, trying to showcase all the fun you have, I'm the reason you have fun. Without me, there is no story. Without me, there's no open world. I can take that away. Without me, there's no choice in the game. I can take that away. Without me, there's no like door or left door, right door. I'll take that away. Without me, there's no escape. But then we escape through something again. He didn't expect us to do this. We jumped through the where the ball goes in, and because of that, we actually escaped this world. But then went into like this beta version, and then a pure beta version of like a different game. And that place didn't work. And that's when he said, like, you need me here. And I'm not trying to say we do need him, but I think that what this narrator is trying to get across here in this story and this time around, he was trying to make us feel like we did need him. He's trying to make us feel like we're worthless. And whatever free choice we make is going to be blocked off by him because he decides what happens here. And then I feel like in the previous route we had with him as well, it really felt like that route was trying to, like, showcased the narrator breaking down. What happens when he truly doesn't have a say in everything? What happens when his whole story gets ruined? When we choose a choice that's not even in the game's, like, technically quote-unquote game's files, it ruins the whole story to the point he has to scramble and remake the story. It gets so jumbled up and he gets so upset by this and so upset at us, bitterly so, like, oh my God, I can't believe you'd even do this. You know, I have one thing in this life and you ruined it, because he feels entitled to control us. He even said that we were like not Stanley anymore because Stanley would do what he's told, you know? And then the ending there really felt to me like it was like three people in one room together. Me, Stanley, and the narrator. 3 people in the room together, watching the credits roll as none of us can do anything. That's what it felt like. It felt like we couldn't do a thing. And we had to watch as like all this stuff with the credits were rolling. We knew it was the end of the game, but we had no choices left. We had no movement left. We couldn't go through the doors. Maybe we could have. I don't know if he tried to go through like the different spaces before we could, but like in that moment, that's the ending I got. Whereas I felt once again like trapped. But there was a satisfaction of hearing the narrator in such a pathetic way, you know, please, Stanley, please. Stanley, please. And there's like a pathetic aspect to that, which we didn't get to hear that so far from that. And then you also see Stanley no longer mobile. He's ruined his story and changed his story so much that the Stanley that he wrote, he has no like, maybe it's like as well the narrator has no motivation to move forward. Maybe Stanley has no motivation to move forward now that like everything's like kind of like been messed up as well. And we've made so many wrong choices, quote unquote wrong choices. But I think the emphasis that they're always trying to drive home in this game for me is that Stanley is someone who, because of his job and this mundane lifestyle he has, he's seen as like just not an individual. He's a number. He's a person who follows orders. And I think you can relate that to like an idea of like real life, where it's like the idea that like someone is like, you know, treated as just another number, just another spoke on the wheel. They're not something that's going to be like, they don't seem as consequential. And whenever you try to go out of those lines, or color outside the lines, for some people like that, they are reprimanded in real life too, in a workplace and in a life too. And all the joys in life are kind of taken away from them. And like, I'm saying this not as as a theory, but like what I think could be the case is that all of the stuff that Stanley is seeing is like an attempt to be a real person. But sometimes the narrator is suspecting this and will put us on a different path completely. And I think that it's one of those situations where this game is constantly trying to drive home this theme of you won't get to choose what happens in your life. And if you do get to choose what happens in your life, it's going to go freaking bad for you. We're going to make sure something bad happens, whether that be you're trapped in the ceiling, whether that be that like, you know, you fall flat on the floor in front of this woman who judges you from the top. Like there's something to that as well. Now, I'm not saying that's what's actually happening, but that's like the interpretation I get of like what the parallels are. It's like there's like a real relation to like being in a rat race, being trapped in the cage, being on a hamster on the wheel. Every day you're doing the same thing. You're being told to do the same thing. And you think about all the time, like, what if today I tell my boss to shut up? What if today I go on that I tell him I'm quitting? What if today I skip a work day for the rest of the day and go home sick? And you try to do this stuff, and in the end, you either don't do it because if you don't have that bravery, or it's not on the cards because like you're like told not to, or you're reprimanded in a way. Like even we had that in the earlier on when we did something that was against the rules. We had like an instructional video, which again is something that they do in. If there's an incident at like a work or something like that, where it's like one of those situations where like, let's say someone stole something and they don't know who stole something. They will like back in the day, they would play those videos. Workplace etiquette is you shouldn't take stuff off people. You shouldn't take food off people. Like, let's say there's a situation where like someone was insensitive to someone's race or something. They would play these videos and they weren't very good, but they play these videos and be like, have you been a victim of workplace, abuse or something like that? And it's like one of those things where like it never is beneficial because they're just making mockery of stuff like that, but they thought it was beneficial. And nowadays I think it's been replaced with, again, because I haven't been in an office job in years upon years, like, or even like in a retail job in years. But it's one of those situations where it really feels like a work manager meeting being like, all right, guys, so someone's been stealing staplers. So listen, we have to go through protocol and talk about why you shouldn't steal staplers. And it's like, yes, I know not to steal staplers, but like, yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, it felt like it was like a very like, once again, the mundane life, being reprimanded, all that stuff there as well. Which I thought was a really interesting aspect to it too. That's my interpretation of what we had so far. That's what I think is so cool about this. I think that the actual game itself is incredible. I'm having such a blast playing with this. I hope you guys are enjoying watching this. We'll keep playing this like as well if you guys want to see more routes as well. I definitely would like to play this some more. I think it's really cool so far. This upload schedule would be, if we keep playing, it will be Fridays, Fridays, Sundays, and Tuesdays. That would be the schedule for it. We'll play there those 3 days. And thank you guys so much for watching this. I'm sorry for maybe I'm like reading too much into some stuff. Maybe I'm like, going, I'm being stupid, and you guys are like, that's not what I see at all in this as well. But that's what I saw from this at least. I want to say thank you to Tyfire2, Jamie Bull, Johnny the Banana, The Ghost of Nizuma, Delicious Felix, Yule, Radish Anusta, Lynx Markey, Assassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, Hike Kasparian, Jared Beanham, and at the Heist here on my YouTube, Wargamer7, Glasgow, and Lucinagi. I'll see you all so soon. Bye bye.